So what makes for good awareness? Keeping track of friendlies, keeping track of enemies, keeping track of objectives. You're nothing more than a cheap ward at that point. The amount of information that you hold isn't what makes you different. It's what you can do with that information that makes you special. This tier 1's not safe because they could go this way and then just murder me, and that might be the plan. Yep, I knew it. Map awareness for ADCs is simple. Is it possible that I could die here? That's it. Where's the jungler trying to sneak up on my butt, and where's my team? Maximize gains, minimize losses, say it over and over and over again. Fondant is not food. 24 minutes into this game, and I am this adorable little Crocagator Sobek. I'm farming waves in mid. Scylla's getting buff camps. Bakasura's doing an Oni Fury. I'm maximizing gains. What else could I gain right now? We could group get these tier 1 towers down, or get a tier 2 in the mid lane and then do Fire Giant, or just straight to Fire Giant. If you're constantly thinking, what more can I get, what more can I get, you end up at Fire Giant eventually, or on your third marriage with 3 addictions and too many phone apps to count because you can never be satisfied. But I'm also looking around. I want to minimize losses. I don't think Oni Fury will get stolen. We have decent enough wards over there, and it's Bakasura Scylla 24 minutes in. How about our towers? No, they're not being pressured severely. Definitely don't want to lose Fire Giant, and what I'm seeing is Erlang Shen is taking out my wards in the fire pit, but what I'm also not seeing are enemies. Don't like it, huh? Don't sit right with my bones. As a support, you should be rather uncomfortable if you cannot account for the majority of the enemy team. One person alone can't take a Fire Giant. I'm working on a hunch here, but I'm gonna make my way over there anyways. And look who's here, Ra, Baron, Erlang, all on the same side of the map. I haven't seen Ull or Serket. I'd rather go check and be wrong because that means no one got anything, or not check and be wrong because then Fire Giant gets taken.
Good awareness by Frost and Meteor.
It was elementary, my dear boy. Especially when you apply the logic in reverse for the enemy. The enemy is also trying to maximize gains, minimize losses. If they know we're about to get Oni Fury, they have to make up for that loss somewhere else. They're in no position to get towers. There's no other neutral camps, especially at this stage in the game. They have to go for fire. Your team will be dragging you into fights that you never wanted sometimes, but you make the most of them. So tell me, did you notice that Serket jumped out? Be honest. And did you come to the same conclusion that her only option left was to blink? If so, we have a lot in common. We should hang out sometime. And since we're practically twins, you tell me the next step, yeah? It's like Dora the Explorer all over again. You think I just put the map there for looks? 2 people are dead, both of them are duo laners. You're taking that tier 1 for sure, then you're gonna push a tier 2. Why? Because the only way to stop you, the enemy has to send at least 2 people over. Your Giannis is in the mid lane, your Chang'e is in the solo lane. If 2 people come over, you can just ping one of them to take out their tier 1 towers. Or use the VGS, attack middle lane, attack right lane. I use both pings and VGS to communicate urgency, because everything you do should be done quickly to be most efficient. Then after that, you can do a retreating jungle sweep, which is when you're in enemy territory, like say taking a tier 2 tower, or you're beyond the tier 1. If you're healthy enough, as a group, you can take their red, you can take their purple. You can use now as a very safe time to place out very deep wards. You can get mid camps, you can get your camps on the way back, and you're gonna have a sweet chunk of change as you head into base. Or after the tier 2, if you got it or not, it doesn't matter. It only matters if you're healthy enough. You can go into the mid lane, take that broken tier 1 tower, go as a group into Pyro, and then if you like, you can also grab the solo tower, and then head back to base with a nice chunk of change. You have to be quick, you have to be fluid. Those are 2 different plans, and which one are we going for? I just spotted Poseidon in the middle. I saw Achilles in the solo. We're going for tier 1, tier 2. Only Thor can stop us, and then we're gonna do a reverse sweep retreat through the jungle. I'll admit, sometimes the game is a bit confusing, maybe a bit overwhelming. There's like 50,000 forks in the road, and I think I saw some chopsticks. Sushi night. Yo, you and me after this video, let's go get some sushi. But if you're trying to maximize your gains and minimize your losses, you end up with about 2 or 3 options, and one of them usually goes away by the time you get to that fork in the road. It's also about time sensitivity. In the early game, they're going to need a lot of people to do Gold Fury, so they're not going to sneak it on you unless they have Anubis Bastet. Then I would probably watch out. But I haven't seen that in years. You're mostly eyeballing the mid laner, the jungler, making sure that nobody steals your camps. Maybe you can get a steal on theirs. Also fighting over the neutral camps, the mid camps, the oracles. Your map awareness is good early, but everybody's farming. It's so you don't get behind. In the mid game, that's where you get ahead. That's when you start taking down some of the first towers, when you start getting some of the first Gold Furies, some of the first Fire Giants. That is when your map awareness needs to shine as a support. Late game, it's more about team fights. And that's another story.